Hi there, this is Arnitha Webb, Global Lifestyle Strategist, founder of RYL Abroad. And you may have seen yesterday I put up a response that ChatGPT gave me when I asked it, what should we be doing post election? And one of the things was to relocate or consider applying for dual citizenship. And the response has been like, really? Yeah. So I decided for us in the community to just share my screen and let's go over some of these things. But I want to put a disclaimer first. And that disclaimer is we are not a political community, but information is power. And I'm not doing this because I'm doing this because we need to know. I like to deal in facts. I don't like to deal in assumption, and and I wanted to be transparent about what ChatGPT said back to me with and I'm put out very basic questions. Um, but keep in mind, I do work with a paid version of ChatGPT. Okay. This is also not meant to trigger any type of heighten any kind of fears or anxieties or anything. It's meant to put things in perspective because a lot of the feedback that it gave me aligns with the RYL Abroad mission, ironically. So let's look at what it told me. So I said, in light of it, what should we be doing over the next 2 years? I kind of operate in a 24-month. My questions were posed like in 24-month spans. So before we go into those responses that it gave me, I also asked ChatGPT to give me some highlights of what we can expect over the next 2 years. So, we know we have the government restructuring. We know we have the agency overhauls. We're going to see, some of our government agencies consolidated and eliminated. Others, are going to really have these political appointees, so that they're only following what the president wants and not, what's good for American people. Now, here's something that truly we are mindful of in RYL Abroad, and that is taxes. And so the tax reforms that we can look forward to are going to impact us immensely because, they're not geared for people that's making, 100K and under. Probably not even 200K and under. They're really geared toward the super wealthy. So the deductions and credits and exclusions that we are used to taking, we are not going to have because they're going to be eliminated. So what I'm thinking is that when we go to do our 2024 taxes, we'll be fine with however we've been doing them. We're probably going to see changes as of 2025, 2026. So I've already invited our expat tax specialist to come talk to us in the community, and I'm just waiting on a date. So keep an eye out on your calendar because remember, I am always talking to digital nomads and expats, or aspiring digital nomads and aspiring expats. And you can't be either and not be concerned with how you're going to do your tax filings. So taxes are important to us. Of course, it's going to be a lot of spending cuts. We're not going into a lot of the things that don't apply directly to our mission inside of RYL Abroad. Okay. Um, okay. This part right here under social policies, I think are very important because Project 2025 really recommends rescinding protections against discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Um, and anyone who knows history, pays attention to history. I know that's not a big thing in the US, but traveling outside of the US, you will find people are well versed on historical events and such. And this is a very nasty, slippery slope right here because when you start with one group, they tend to move to another group and another group. And we've seen some nasty outcomes to that. Um, we know environmental protections are going to roll back. Um, we know we know that part. Here's another important part, though, for us, I think. Um, Media and technology, because they're going to be defunding PBS. Um, you know, there's no sense in their minds of having a network that is truly independent, funded by the people for the people. That's what PBS is all about. They don't take government money, and so they're going to be gone. Technology regulations, we've already seen an announcement in this area, and I paid particular attention to that recent announcement yesterday because one of our concerns in AI has been having some kind of oversight on it being ethical in its development, and as much unbiased in it as possible. And so the announcement already came that in the area of AI that is going to roll back, and it's not going to be any oversight there. So we are going to see a lot of yeah. Okay. So, implementation timeline, just remember that I did say upfront to ChatGPT that I'm interested just in the next 24 months. And so, as that pertains to our taxes, that's why I really think that we may see our first major shift and impact on our taxes in 2025. And we definitely need some advice on, what are we going to do if it's not going to be the usual credits that we're accustomed to taking, and deductions that we're accustomed to taking to balance out an entrepreneurial or independent contractor income. Okay. I went further on here, and I'm just being completely transparent with the questions that I've asked. How will this impact women, children, overall gun safety, economic concerns for people making under 100,000? Okay. We know it's going to negatively impact women hugely. Um, um, yeah, overall healthcare for women is going to be hugely impacted, especially reproductive rights and what have you. But this here is a concern, and within our RYL Abroad community. This is what I want you to pay attention to. Workplace protections. The plan proposes rolling back regulations and protections in the workplace, hindering women's economic progress. Policies being proposed would weaken protections against workplace discrimination and harassment, creating a more hostile work environment and affecting job retention and advancement opportunities for women. Now, for those of us who may remember when there were true glass ceilings that you could see and feel inside the workplace, this is not good news. And in light of how the job market is going, and for some of you who want to use remote jobs as your primary source of income to either move outside of the US or become a digital nomad. This is why I said this about a month ago. That's not a good game plan. It's just not a good game plan, because the workplace is not going to become more secure for women or men. Okay, but women especially, because it's always the least of these that's impacted the most negatively. It's just not going to be a good plan. I propose in my freedom plan of controlling your own income, making it where you don't have to be dependent upon anybody, any company determining whether or not you have money. I just think that we're going to have to shift our mindset in that regard. Okay. Because as you can see here, it's gonna be some changes. Okay, impact on children. I do want to go over this just a bit, because I always tell women, you don't have to wait till the kids are grown before you leave the U.S. And I have traveled, with my son I've never not gone because I never used him as the excuse not to go. Never. You know, he did his whole last year of high school with us living in Spain. So I just don't. I think they're better off traveling the world. Quite honestly, I think that when I was back in education, um, one of the things that I used to really see is how the differences in American children versus children in other parts of the world. And I was like, we're doing our kids a huge disservice by keeping them here in the US and not showing them the world and broadening their minds and being and teaching them, you know. And if we're going to keep following this direction, we're not doing our kids any favor at all. So Head Start, all the early childhood things are going to get defunded. Healthcare, wow, I don't even want to go into. Um, I'm going to say just a blanket statement here. We weren't we weren't high on the healthcare list before the election, so we're not going to be high on the healthcare list, the global healthcare list after the election. Okay, that is just simple as that. A lot of us, you know, one of the reasons why, even if it wasn't a top three, it still was on the list that we were looking to live outside of the U.S. had to do with violence, had to do with gun violence, because it's just enough is enough is enough. Sending someone thoughts and prayers is just empty. Um, so that's not going to improve. It's not going to improve because the laws are whatever. It, it's just not going to improve, and just keep that in mind. Let's see. Taxes, taxes, taxes. Yes, yes, it's going to affect us if you are not one of the super rich. Social safety net programs, Medicare severely impacting people who rely on these services. As many as 28% of single moms living in poverty are more likely to rely, such as Medicare. Reducing these programs will, yeah, those programs are going to be reduced. I'm really concerned with that as it relates to Medicare for those who, Medicaid as well. But I mean, when I'm thinking about the people in our community, I'm concerned with the Medicare part of it, for real. Um, let's go look at that question that I posed that told us to get dual citizenship. And I asked for it to give me a list of things that people should do to prepare themselves for democracy and the policy endings of things in America as we know it. So let's look at what it gave me. And I'm hoping that as I'm scrolling that you're seeing this large enough so that I'm being completely transparent. And I'm saying that again, because some of this is going to look like it was I asked for a marketing campaign for RYL Abroad, but I did not. But look at some of these responses because you're going to be shocked. So ChatGPT says that Project 2025, with its emphasis on shifting federal government priorities, could profoundly reshape the U.S. political and civil landscape. Here's a list of preparations people might consider to protect their personal freedoms, sustain their communities, and navigate potential shifts if it takes effect. Number one, strengthen community ties and local networks. I'm just going to surmise that to say to strengthen my global networks. Okay. Number two, this is where it starts getting a little surprising because number two says protect digital privacy and security. I wasn't expecting any advice to lean in the area of protecting my digital privacy and security. Okay, so we'll look at these 3 bullet points. First one, use encrypted communications. Move personal and sensitive conversations to encrypted platforms like Signal, Proton Mail, or other prioritizing privacy. Now, for any of us who travel extensively outside of the US, we know that the world uses WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is supposed to be an encrypted platform. But I am going to try to do some more research to compare if it fits to this kind of recommendation. And please, I encourage you to do the same and give your feedback in the community. Okay. The second bullet point, secure data and devices, consider using a VPN. That's always been a thing in the area of cybersecurity. I have used VPNs here and there, but I think it's important to just pay attention to the fact that ChatGPT is putting this in for us to do post election. That's all I'm gonna say. And if this is something, I think this is something that we will have more conversation about that will help us um, um, as we navigate the world. Limit online footprint, regularly audit and remove personal information from online platforms where feasible. Privacy preserving browsers like Brave or Firefox can add another layer of security. I just think that this entire area right here is important for us to always have a continuing conversation about, because there are certain parts of the world, most definitely, that you may want to take, larger precautions than others. I put it like that. Educate yourself on civic rights and organizing skills. If you don't mind, I will just skip over that one for right now, because I don't want this to turn into a political message. This is not. This is a message for digital nomads and aspiring digital nomads, expats and aspiring expats. So I'm going to skip over number 3 and go to number 4. Establishing financial independence and self-sufficiency. Build an emergency fund. A liquid emergency fund can provide a buffer against potential economic disruptions. Again, I think the thing that probably will make an eyebrow raise is like, we asked what to do over, post election, it's telling us to brace for economic disruption. Hmm. Keep my personal opinion to myself right there. Explore decentralized financial systems. I think this is a risky proposition. I certainly don't know anything about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies. Develop self sustaining skills like gardening, basic repairs, communal living strategies. I see that going on. I can see where that's beneficial in and outside of the US. Um, I think that the takeaway here is, in this question for what we should be doing to post election to be prepared for the changes that we're going to see, ChatGPT is talking to us about financial independence and self sufficiency. That's the takeaway here. Now, if there's any part here that we should expand on that will help you to that location independent goal and self sufficiency, then that's what we will delve into inside of RYL Abroad. We will keep it on topic for what RYL Abroad is about. Okay, we won't get into the political opinions about it at all. Okay, number 5, diversify and build digital business portfolio. This is where I said it looks like I asked for a marketing plan, because look, develop online income streams. Consider diversifying income sources through remote work, digital businesses, freelancing, or online services that are less vulnerable to local or federal policy shifts. And when I would say, for those of you who need to create digital business streams of income online, start with DWA. Go into the community, click on DWA, choose which one you want, start there, because it is all encompassing. It has everything in it, and it's consistently updated with technology and with what's going on in the digital space. Okay. That's why I said it was going to sound like a marketing thing, but it's not. This is ChatGPT saying, what should we be doing post election? Create international connections, absolutely. Build relationships with clients or networks outside the US to ensure more resilience. In case of restrictive policies jumped out at me, when I tell you those last few words of this bullet point slapped me in the face, I was like, what? What restrictive policies? So I started thinking about everybody in my family who didn't have a passport already. I was like, get your passport, put that application in before January. Put the application in. We don't know what's coming. But I'm like, what is ChatGPT talking about? Somebody, anybody. Okay. All right. Pursue location. Can you believe this? ChatGPT says pursue location independence. For those interested in more, Lord, I want to highlight this. I want to put this everywhere. For those interested in a more mobile lifestyle, securing visas or exploring location independent work options can offer added security if living abroad becomes preferable. Well, honey, that is our entire mission. This is what we're all about. Know that you're on the right track because ChatGPT is saying post election, this is what you should be thinking about. Number 6, stay informed on national and international politics. We are going to skip over that except for one bullet point. And this is another bullet point that slapped me in the face. Under number 6, stay informed on national and international politics. Look at this. Last bullet point. Understand international asylum rights. I feel like I needed a highlighter for this daggone video. Understand international asylum rights. So first of all, I was like, asylum rights. Like usually somebody is asking for applying for asylum when they come into the United States. This question is for United States citizens. Familiarize yourself with countries that offer protections to individuals seeking asylum due to political persecution. Why is ChatGPT telling U.S. citizens to do this? Yeah. That's that moment of silence was for you to ponder the question for yourself. Let's keep going. Number 7, consider relocation or dual citizenship options. All right, this is what I had put up on my social media. Child, I didn't make this up. I did not make this up. This is ChatGPT talking to you. This is not even Arnitha. I'm not even on the screen. I decided to do this video off, okay? So you're not even looking at me. This is ChatGPT talking to you. Research dual citizenship or residency. For those considering relocation, investigate countries offering relatively accessible residency or citizenship options. We're going to be turning up the steam on this one right here in the community. Okay, so keep your eye on the calendar, start coming in on the Zoom, start being active because that is the only way this is going to work for everybody. Okay, this is not a selfish thing. This is a community. Okay, everybody wants the same things, and nobody wants a cookie cutter approach. We are trying to develop out of our own lifestyle on our own terms, but information is power. Prepare your documentation. Make sure you have your birth certificates, education records, important documents that may be required for relocation. So I'm just going to be doing another little peruse because I know when I packed up my things this time that was supposed to be transported over to Spain, I made a mistake and put a folder. I put a folder in that had all these documents, and I didn't realize it till like a month later. Yeah. Yeah. My one go-to that has everything I put in storage. Now, I'm here in the US. I could I could get it. And I've since, changed my plans and that shipment is not going over to Spain. I decided to do something different, but that's for a whole nother conversation, right? But it's still with that still with that company right now. They're waiting for my final go ahead to get it on a ship and go to Spain, but I'm changing up my plans. Not changing up my plans and me going to Spain, but those items won't be coming over to Spain. Okay, stay updated on expat and visa policies. Understand the specific requirements of digital nomad visas and or other residency programs. Again, we're turning up the steam tenfold in our community on this. Increase resilience through civic policy engagement. Let's just skip over that. That's politics. Practice self-care and mental resilience. We have a member in the community, and if you watch this video and you hear me, I'm actually going to be reaching out to you because you're a wellness expert, and I want people to hear your story, know what you have to offer for women living outside of the country and keeping themselves, the mental and emotional wellness together. So that's, yeah. Document and archive key information. This kind of goes back to number 2. And these, again, it's like this is twice now that ChatGPT is talking to us about our most private Documents and privacy. Store essential documents in safe, preferably offsite or digital locations. Create backups, preserve community history, yada, yada. Okay. Now, I went a step further and asked how fast should we expect changes to happen. And I'm going to zero in. Um, where was it? Mm. Oh, it must not have been here. I think I asked this question twice. Okay. Um, yeah, I know the playbook has. Okay, so ChatGPT does confirm that there is a 180-day playbook a time span, and it's yeah, because it's 'cause some of this actually started. I mean, the whole Supreme Court appointees is part of the playbook as well. So let's. Oh yeah, I went to the other one already. So anyway, let me wrap this up. I just wanted to come to you, be transparent, show you not what Arnita is saying, but what ChatGPT is saying, and know that that whatever your plans are, whatever it is that you want to do, wherever it is that you want to live, if you don't know where you want to live, just know that a year from today, your whole entire life can be different. Your entire life. We have a lot of things on calendar. Please um, invite other like minded people that you know into the RYL Abroad community. It is still free. Why not join, right? It's not going to remain free for much longer, but let's get active. Let's participate and let's be able to support and celebrate each other once we are on the other side of these moves. Some of you have shared that you want to live in Dubai, you want to live in Korea, you want to live in Spain, you want to live in Italy, you want to live in Costa Rica, you want to live in Jamaica, like whatever it is. Thailand, I got a Thailand. Wherever your heart takes you, um I want to help you get there and get there in a way where everything goes smooth for you, and whatever, because life keeps life, and whatever doesn't go smooth, you're still prepared for the bumps and the challenges as well, right? All righty. So again, my name is Arnita Webb. I'm going to sign off, and I hope you found this information empowering. Let's stop sharing.